Hey.
Hey.
It's
hey,
us
girl.
again. It's us crazy kids. We're back for another episode of Baseball Moms.
Yes. Hi, Jen.
Hello, Tiffany. How are you?
How are you? It's been a while.
Living my best life.
Yes. Always.
Just sitting here getting to do what we love, chat about baseball, our boys. This episode will be fun because we get to chat about fellow baseball moms that are friends and those relationships and the importance of them. So yeah, this will be a fun one. This is, we don't have to be serious on this one.
No, that's kind of hard for us anyway.
Yes. So yeah, I think that a couple of things that I was thinking about is that I have some very, very close friends. We've been friends for years. Some of them since I was 5 years old. One of my best friends. So a long time.
Yes.
And those friendships are super important. But the thing is, when you're living that baseball life, they are not really going to understand. I get a lot of questions. I love my best friend, but she'll always say, so what time do they play on Sunday?
Well,
and I'm like, we've been doing this for over 10 years, and we don't know what time we play on Sunday because we have to do pool play. And depending on where we see, her name's Chrissy.
Hi, Chrissy. I'm sorry. Jenny, can't she be a little more patient?
No. I still love you.
Poor Chrissy.
But it's always the same answer.
Right.
I don't know when we play because, we don't know how well we're going to do, and we don't know how many runs we're going to give up, and we don't know where we're seating, and so then we don't know where we're going to fall in the bracket. So the answer is the same as it was last week, the week before, the week before that, the week before that, the week before that, the week before that. I don't know.
You don't
Bless your heart. But if you always follow up with a bless your heart, then it's fine. You can say anything you want.
Well, sure. And Chrissy at least is just
bless her heart.
She cares. Bless her heart.
Yes.
That she cares. It's totally true though. If you don't have a child that plays travel baseball, you really don't have any clue. And I've even had good friends to me say to my face, like, Tiffani, it sounds like a horrible way to spend a summer to just travel all the time and go to baseball, and that's not what I would want to do. And I'm like, well, that's good that they don't have a boy that plays baseball. The good thing is that
you're not doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. But no, good for. I get it. If you don't, because honestly, I might think the same thing if we didn't do it. It is time consuming. It is
money consuming.
Money consuming. What else? It's kind of stressful, stress consuming.
But it's a huge time commitment and huge just commitment in general.
And I get it. Why people don't understand unless you're in it. I get it. And we laugh about it all the time. I honestly can say I love it. I'm actually sad that next summer will be our last summer doing it.
Bite your tongue. Don't say those words.
I know. We don't have to talk about that. But
it makes me think I should have had about 4 more so that I would just go on forever.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. You have 2 boys in it.
Yes.
Golly, and that's like double the money.
Well, I had another, didn't do club, but did play. And so that was done, and now we have 1 more year with Jason.
Well, we won't get depressing and sad. No. But that is sad. It is sad because it's such a big part of our life. And if you don't have friends to share that with, but I love my baseball moms that I hang out with in the summer. It's so awesome to have such a great group. Of course, their boys are great, but having parents that are equally great
is so important.
Yeah.
And something I thought about that's funny too is we talked about this July. It's a very stressful time in the whole baseball world, and every year comes July, you do, if you're looking at different clubs and you're doing tryouts, then you go on vacation. And every year on vacation, I do have a fellow baseball mom that's living that baseball life that we travel with, we're great friends with. Her kiddo, they play, and so they can relate. And it's that we'd be sitting on vacation and being like, oh my God, did you get the email yet? Did it come through? Do you know what team? Do you know which one you were? Who's the coach going to be? Who else is on your team? Did so-and-so go? And the other friends that are on vacation that they're not in that, they're just kind of staring at you like, huh?
What are you doing?
What are you talking about? why, like, we're on vacation. Why are we even still
talking
dealing
about
with this?
baseball? Didn't you just
And
finish
it's
8
like,
months
because
of your
it
life?
is your life, not just
It
when you
is.
play, it's all year, and then it's
Yes.
practices, and it's, and so it's funny that it's important to have those people that get that, understand it, or even things when you might have a hard season, or being a part of an experience on a team that was nothing like you had hoped for, nothing you expected,
Right.
not what you wanted, and trying to deal with, I spent X amount of money.
Yes.
I paid X amount for uniforms that were hideous. I spent, so much time.
I'm sorry. I love it. Yellow's my favorite
Do
color.
we need Savannah Banana? No, sir. I mean, knowing that I never have to look
wear
at that again.
Yeah,
Okay,
go
sorry,
girl.
I digress. Back to it. Bring it in. Oh, it just
you
was
make me laugh.
so
The
good.
uniform
So
has
good
been
that I
such a
don't.
big issue.
Okay,
Have you
so
opened up your own uniform shop yet? Jenny
I'm going to go work at Prime Sports when I retire.
heck
Is one of my
yeah.
17 other jobs. I'm be like, Rick, I need
you're
a
gonna
job.
umpire,
And I'm going to
too.
be pressing those uniforms.
That would be a fun job, though. But go ahead. Yes.
Okay,
Tell me
sorry.
the
We're
rest of
back.
it.
We're back. We're sorry.
Yeah.
So, but paying all that money and all those things and the experience not being, and though you can have friends that aren't living that baseball life that you can vent to,
Yeah.
or that I can tell you I cried to, but they're sympathetic and they, love you to death and they will listen.
Yeah.
But they're not feeling that. They are not in the deep pit of their stomach and soul being like, girl, I know what you're talking about.
Sure.
When you're talking to another fellow baseball mom that has done that, has had an experience somewhere
Yes.
that has been hard or sad or a blindsided, season or cut, and you need to talk to that other mom or baseball
gets
parent
it.
that is like, yes, I 100% understand. I know where you're coming from.
Right.
It is, so hard that they truly get where you're coming from. And it just is a difference, and it is much needed at times.
Right.
And some of that stuff, it is just important to have that. And on the other side of it, bonds like ours that we probably, had it not been for this amazing sport and for the opportunity, that Brian and Dave and all those have given for this show to exist, I would not have met you. And it's one of those where you're like, when you experience that relationship with another baseball mom, we have known each other less than a year, and I feel like I've known you forever.
Yes.
Like it's
Oh,
that
yeah,
comfortable
yeah.
feeling of, it's just a bond, a mutual bond and love of the same thing that you can be like,
Yeah.
I feel open to say this, or I can say I'm having
Yeah,
a hard
sure.
time, or
Yeah.
this is the experience I'm going through, and having someone relate to you and truly feel you. And if you aren't in that, it just wouldn't happen. You would not, I would have never met you, or
Oh, I
our bond was
know.
so quick. And I think that's what makes sports, but baseball unique, is that these boys, when they say a family atmosphere or this or that, it is because the bonds are incredible. And it's something you can't explain to someone if you're not a part of it. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
Isn't it
Yeah, that
just
common bond and that common, having baseball in common. And we all know, like, even if your kid goes through a slump or something, just the other moms that get it, like,
Yes.
I mean, gosh, Jenny, I meant to send it to you on social media the other day. I forgot. I think it was on Instagram. I sent it to Cooper of all people, but he doesn't read my stuff. I should have just sent it to you. But it said something like, when you're in a slump in baseball, the one person that hurts more than you is your mom.
Amen to that.
And you know what? Okay, Cooper went through a little bit of one last fall, and I don't know, I almost get mad at myself that it's like, I mean, it's not like, I'm mad at him, but I get so bothered that not because of his performance, but I get so bothered internally because I know how upset he is with himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, even if he's in a slump and the team wins, that's fine with Cooper. I mean, he's good. But if he's not doing his job and he's not producing, what I see him go through, that is what I want to take off for him, and then I get upset. And I feel like a lot of moms do that. I mean, we've talked about that this summer with a couple moms on our team. Like, it bothers. I mean, I kind of think, I don't want to share that because that sounds so weird. You're upset with your son. I mean, I would get up in the middle of the night and think, oh man, if he tweaked his swing. But I would never tell him because he puts enough pressure on himself. And it's so weird. I'm like, Tiffani, what are you doing? Like, there's so many other, things in the world that are so much more important than a game, And so I do keep it real with myself and I keep it in perspective. But it's not just baseball. I mean, he could have gotten broken up with a girl, or my daughter could get broken up with a boy, or something can make them so sad. And we take that on as moms.
Yes.
And so moms, I think, in general can relate to that. But when you're a baseball mom and your son's going through something like that, we all can relate to slumps. I mean, we've talked about it because we had some kids, struggle a little bit. And we were all there for those moms that you kind of feel like you're not alone. You're like, okay, good. It bothers them. But it's not that their performance bothers you.
Yes.
Their poor performance. It's the fact that they're upset.
Yes. And that is the thing that makes it unique is that I've had kiddos that are not my child that I have watched, and what they can do, and I feel it deep for them, just as a fellow mom, on the team or watching someone. But the same thing for the joys. I have celebrated huge things that other kids have done that are not my child on that team.
I love that,
and been so excited. I remember, and this is so long ago, and it's one of my vivid memories, was I feel like it was, 10U baseball or something, which seems, but there was a kiddo that we knew his ability, but he was always in his own head. And it happened to be, I want to say, Mother's Day and maybe his mom's birthday. It was and he got up and he hit his first over the fence home run. And I remember jumping up and hugging her like it was my kid and crying in excitement and joy. This was not my child. It was somebody else's. But because you have that bond with them, these are people you spend so much time that you feel it. Or when I've seen kids that are a year or two older who have gone on and gotten committed, have made teams they wanted, and you feel it deep in your soul that this is the most amazing thing. And it is not my child, but those bonds with the moms,
make it
parents, parents in
Uh-huh.
general, makes it just so special. And the thing is, I think we don't always say dads or baseball dads because I think, not always, we have some of those dads that I joke and I'm like, he's a pretty good team mom. But
Sure.
for the most part, it is the
Shout
women
out to them.
who feel things deeply, that moms, that women, that we do. And I always say it's because we carried our children that I feel like there is that connection in some way.
Oh,
that I
100.
still feel that excitement, whatever, from my
Yes.
kids.
Yeah, that's
So
100%.
it
I love
does,
that, Jenny.
It does. It is just something that is there, and it's a cool feeling. And I know that if it is a slump, if it is an exciting, that the response that you will get from a fellow baseball mom versus a friend that loves you and loves your kid, it's different. It's that feeling that
'Cause
you
they just-
know.
Yes, because they just don't, on no fault to their own, they just don't understand, if you're not,
Yes.
or even just maybe if you're a mom of, and they play another sport. But, baseball's so hard mentally as it is that there's going to be a lot more mistakes in baseball, I feel like, than other sports
Yes.
too. And it's, I mean, one of my very dear best friends, and I mean, they play ball, or my friend Jen, we met because, I think I already said this, but Cooper and Drew met in kindergarten. Drew is her son, and they played baseball together all throughout. I mean, they play high school together. Drew's a heck of a ball player, and now they play on the same club team. And then our daughters are best friends. They played basketball, and I coach them in basketball. And then our husbands are really close and are just and Jen is not a typical sports mom. I mean, she's turned into one. I've kind of morphed her into the good side, but
I love it.
Like she was a cheerleader. I mean, she's so cute. And but now as Drew has gotten more and more, I mean, just older and more involved in baseball, and Drew's had a lot of success, it's funny to see Jen kind of get more involved, so just get more involved and get very, it's just nice to be able to talk to her about baseball now.
And be able to say,
yes.
yes.
So it's nice, and I have that type of bond with a lot of the moms that I sit with. I mean, I could talk to any of them. I just happen to see Jen the most because we see them the most outside of baseball. But just to be able to talk and relate, I'm really close to our coach's wife, who I played college basketball with, and our boys are the same age, and our girls are the same age. I mean, her name's Katie Hill, and just talking to her a lot, and it's amazing. Like we deal with the same stuff,
right.
It's always you deal with the same emotions, the same heartaches for your kids, because baseball has a way of breaking your heart more often than not, right? And
yes.
It's so good to have those moms to talk to about it.
Well, and it's funny too, because if you fellow baseball moms in our chairs, in the wherever we are, you don't even have to say a word when that other team's parents start chirping.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to keep it like G. And so you just kind of go, but you give that look, and you don't have to, because they know what you're thinking, and you're like,
Yes. Okay, so it's going to be this type of team.
Yeah, so, like knowing it's a look, it's just funny. It is funny. That kind of stuff that if you've been there, you go through it, or I've had parents in the past, other moms, and we've talked about this in past shows that, I'm sorry, but after 9U, walk up, music's got to go. It's a hard
keep
no
that in mind, Jenny.
For me, and it was last year, and I will still get text from the one mom playing a 15U team. They got walk-up music, and I'm like, she said, all I could think is, what would Jenny Mayberry think of this?
Aww.
So it's always the WWJD, but it's what would Jenny do?
What would Jenny do?
So
she wouldn't have music.
Yeah, so that we laugh. So you have those common things where my friends would be like, huh? Who cares? What? I don't get it. What? And you're just like, walk-up, like they are 14U and we have walk-up. It's ridiculous. And they're like, okay, I don't get why you're fired up. Where another baseball mom that's feeling me
we get it.
Is going to get it.
Yes.
So it's those kinds of things that's kind of fun, like reading that language and knowing, Oh,
yes, Jenny, we're so close. But if I were sitting next to you and we were on the same team and the other team had walk-up songs, I would think it's so cute.
You'd be giving me a hug, and I'd be like, Tiffani, go to the concession stand.
Go on the other team
now.
if you think it's cute.
But it's fun. It's just those things that you think about, that you look at, and that you're like, those other moms relate.
Sure.
Even if they don't, it's not a big deal to them, but it's funny. They know without you saying anything, you can just whip your head like the Exorcist and do the look.
Actually, you're scaring me.
And they just know what you're creating up here. I think one of the few things that my fellow moms that they can relate to that are not baseball moms is, when you have those close bonds, that they are just your people and they have your back.
Yeah.
There's been times I'm like, oh my gosh, this person was talking about my kid out there, and I had to hold it, and they're like, what time you play tomorrow?
Oh, yeah.
We ride at dawn, so like that kind of thing they might, because no questions asked, they got me. But other than that,
Jenny,
it's
have
like...
okay, it takes all the power in me. I don't know if Jace has ever gotten heckled, but Cooper's gotten heckled a few times, and I mean, as nice as a person as I try to be, like, internally, my blood boils, and I almost get in mama bear mode where I really want to go over there and just grab them. And there was one time where I did say something, but I wasn't Cooper was subbing on a team, so it wasn't like our current team or anything, but there was one time where this kid, Cooper was up at bat, and he was saying some mean things he was at shortstop, and he was making fun of Cooper. And Cooper was playing up, this was last summer, and he was subbing on a team, and I actually did, yelled something back, and the kid heard me, and he yelled back at me, and then I'm like, okay, that's where I'm going to stop. I'm not going to yell back at a kid that yelled back at me, but if you're talking to my kid, you're going to hear it. And because what he said was awful. And Drew, of course, is sitting by me, and he's just like, Tiffani, this is so embarrassing. But, it's something I wouldn't normally do, but my blood was boiling so much. But I had a fellow baseball mom behind me, she was my friend, even though we were just subbing on the team, and she started yelling back at him, and I'm like, and she's much louder than me. I just kind of said it really quietly, and we were along the third baseline. It was at the Rascals ballpark. What's that called? Car Shield. So they heard me.
That's the Hoots.
I always call it the Rascals.
Grizzlies?
Sorry. No, it's the Hoots.
Yeah. Or the yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so you're right.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had my fellow baseball mom, and she started yelling, back, and then I was just like, okay, thank you, but we got to calm it down. I felt bad yelling back at a kid, but, that seems to happen sometimes, but most of the time I've kept my cool, but that one time I said something back, and I wasn't mean, by the way, and, but to know that my girl had my back, and she was yelling, she had Cooper's back, It's yeah,
having your people.
Yeah, but that could have probably looked bad, but Drew went
We
and
live and
talked to
we
me.
learn. Now we know, right?
No, come at me. You go at my kid, I'm going to come at you.
Well, and I say that too, that
Not
the older
really.
the boys get, I
You
am
have to
almost
know.
embarrassed. It's not, but some of the teams we play, I'm like, ooh, and the words they use. Nothing, we had a team from
terrible.
Chicago not too long ago, and I was,
Yeah.
I'm not shy, and I was like, goodness,
Yes.
But it is. I think you have to kind of,
You do, because then you know what I always think, and not that Cooper's going in the major leagues, but I always think of these poor moms that have major league ball players, or any sport. Don't you agree? They're on ESPN and people are tweeting bad things about them or saying bad things about them. I would want to rip my hand through the TV and get a hold of somebody. Yeah.
Mama mode,
Yeah, but anyway, I don't think of the MLB players or NBA players that are getting ripped on. I think of their poor moms.
Yeah.
Because their poor moms probably can't. My heart couldn't handle that, And
So true.
Drew, my husband's always like, you're gonna have to get used to it because it will get worse as they get older. If he plays college ball, he will get heckled all the time, if he gets to that point. And but what's the point of that? I'm not gonna get started.
We
What's
have
the point
another
of doing that?
episode that we're going to go totally into this. We
are?
need to know about heckling and
Okay.
things. I think that's a future show
Yeah.
for sure, because I think we
Yeah.
could go for quite a bit on lessons learned, things we've done, things we've learned not to
Golly,
do.
or maybe not do it and have class. Oh wait,
Yes.
have you heckled people? I don't mean to
I
offend
mean,
you because
no,
I just
mean,
haven't. But
Do I look like the type
No,
of person,
no.
Tiffani, that would do something like
no,
that?
why would I even ask
Gosh.
that? No, you don't.
But do I look like the type of person that would go into mama mode for my boys?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Yes, Jenny.
And I will do it for my husband. I will do it for my friends.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, if I have got your back and I tell you, I have got your back,
Right.
and you're good.
Yeah.
And I may be 5 foot tall,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes tiny is mighty. And I will
yeah.
say
You're very mighty.
that don't come at my people.
Isn't it-
PSA.
Yeah, don't go
come
at
at our
Jenny's-
people.
Don't come at me, because Jenny will take care of it. Okay. No, I get that. I don't. Not that I have issues with people, but if people were to come after me, I'd probably be like, oh, okay, But then if they came after my friends or my husband or my kids or my dogs, my bunnies, but my people, I think being loyal, and I know we're getting off subject, but I think being loyal is the best quality you can have, because you care that much about other people. You're putting them above yourself, and Yeah,
do you see how we do this? We start somewhere and then
we go.
We go
I didn't have my
anywhere.
notes today. I'm a little off the cuff. I'm just.
And here's the other thing that's good about this. Goes back to the fact of bonding with fellow baseball moms.
Yes.
That the fact that we can sit here and talk forever and have a natural connection and
You're good at it, Jenny.
genuine.
You're really good at it, though.
Love
Just follow
of
you.
being with each other and talking about something we love. It's funny that you would think that we've known each other
For
forever.
years.
And it's all about
Baseball.
So,
let's
as
wrap-
you can
that's
see,
just
if
terrific.
you are living that baseball life, obviously, it's a different connection. It's fun. It's great. And
We can be best friends
Yeah.
after a couple months. Sorry, Chrissy. Chrissy
might have been
I don't-
replaced. Bless your heart.
No, Chrissy. Bless her heart.
Bless her heart. She is not replaced. We have
No.
been friends since 5.
Yeah, no one's
It's
going to
fine.
replace Chrissy.
It's fine.
Wait,
It's fine,
Jenny, what
Chrissy.
time do you
Will
play
you still
Sunday?
please take Jace to certain tournaments when I can't get off work? Thank you.
Thank you.
So for now, we are going to wrap this up before we go on another tangent. But
Yes.
just know, look for a future episode. Hit the subscribe button because you're going to want to know when we talk about heckling and whatnot in a whole episode. You don't
Yeah.
want to miss that. And if you have a favorite baseball mom or maybe a few baseball moms that are just living that life with you, it would be fun. Drop their names in the comments.
Heck
Give them
yeah.
an @ so-and-so so that you can give them a little bit of credit. It would be kind of fun just so you can give them that, I love you. Thanks for being my fellow baseball mom, my co-amigo. Live that life. So until next time, we will see you then. And for now,
For now,
boom.
we're done.
Next
Bye,
time.
everybody. See you next time.